The ultimate betrayal has finally been exposed. Prince Harry has reportedly collapsed into a state of absolute, inconsolable heartbreak after Prince William did the unthinkable, confronting his younger brother not with rumors, not with palace gossip, but with an irrefutable, ironclad dossier of absolute proof that Meghan Markle has faked every single detail of her public persona for the last 20 years. Imagine the absolute horror running through Harry's veins at this exact moment. For 5 long years, he turned his back on his blood, his uniform, and his country, believing he was protecting a victimized woman. But in April 2025, during a highly classified, explosive phone call that shook the very foundations of the royal family, William laid out the devastating truth. It wasn't just a minor slip-up or a misunderstanding. William proved that the entire foundation of the Sussex Empire, the brand, the billion-dollar contracts, and the epic romance that captivated the world, was built on an elaborate web of calculated fabrications. As Harry sat alone in his Montecito mansion, listening to his brother's voice over the encrypted line, his world completely shattered. The tears weren't just from anger. They were from the terrifying realization that he had been completely blinded. But what exactly was inside that top-secret file? What did William uncover that completely silenced Harry and left Meghan scrambling in absolute panic? Stay tuned, because the evidence William produced goes so deep and is so incredibly toxic that it changes the British monarchy forever. You will not believe the terrifying final twist that is currently unfolding behind closed palace doors. To truly understand how this catastrophic explosion was inevitable, we have to look back at the toxic, simmering warfare that has been tearing the House of Windsor apart for years. When Harry and Meghan shock-dropped their resignation from royal duties in January 2020, the world was led to believe it was a desperate flight for freedom. They claimed they wanted peace, privacy, and protection from a ruthless media landscape. Harry truly believed he was saving his wife from the tragic fate of his late mother, Princess Diana. He walked away with his head held high, clutching a document known as the Sandringham Agreement, a legally binding contract signed by the late Queen Elizabeth herself. The terms of that agreement were brutally simple, written in plain English and published right on the official royal website for anyone to read. The Sussexes could keep their titles as the Duke and Duchess, but they were strictly, unconditionally forbidden from using their HRH titles, His or Her Royal Highness, in any public, commercial, or professional capacity. No products, no social media tags, no Hollywood deals. In exchange for honoring this sacred vow, they received their total independence and a multi-million-dollar future in California. For 5 years, Harry honored that contract to the letter. He thought they were playing by the rules. But behind the scenes, an entirely different agenda was allegedly being executed. While Harry genuinely tried to build a new life rooted in his past charitable endeavors, like Centibale, the organization he built from raw, authentic grief for his mother, the brand of the Duchess of Sussex was transforming into something else entirely. Inside the walls of Buckingham Palace, Prince William wasn't just watching, he was documenting everything. As the future King of England, William knew that the integrity of the crown was at stake. Palace insiders whisper that William had grown deeply suspicious of the erratic behavior coming out of California. Rumors of a toxic working environment had already plagued Meghan, with a staggering 18 high-level staff members abruptly quitting her service between 2020 and 2026. 3 senior professionals walking out per year isn't a coincidence. It's a massive, flashing red flag. The late Queen had even privately funded a top-secret bullying investigation into the Sussex household, a historic and unprecedented move showing that the institution viewed the situation with extreme gravity. But the staff departures were only the tip of a massive iceberg. William knew that if you want to understand a person's current behavior, you have to look at their origin story. He hired intelligence experts, forensic fact-checkers, and legal historians to dig into the past. What they uncovered didn't just point to a few mistakes. It revealed a lifelong pattern of strategic image manipulation. The trap was set, the evidence was compiled into a black leather dossier, and in April 2025, William finally picked up the phone to deliver a devastating psychological blow to his brother. The confrontation happened in the dead of night, California time. Harry's phone rang, displaying an encrypted international number he hadn't seen in months. When he answered, it wasn't the voice of an angry older brother looking for a fight. It was the cold, clinical voice of Prince William delivering a formal execution of the facts. William didn't shout. He simply said, "Harry, it's over. I have the proof." William proceeded to lay out 3 distinct, documented violations of the Sandringham Agreement that had occurred under Harry's own roof. Violations that Harry allegedly knew absolutely nothing about. Violation number 1. The highly controversial Instagram post involving Ukraine's vice president. A diplomatic letter had been sent to Meghan, addressed to Your Royal Highness. Instead of correcting the official or keeping the document private, Meghan allegedly posted the letter in full, completely unedited, to millions of followers on a platform she directly uses to market her commercial products. A source close to William told the press on the record, "You would have to be an idiot to believe she didn't know exactly what she was doing." Violation number 2, the Hollywood gift basket. High-profile actress Jamie King received a luxurious, personal gift basket from Meghan to promote her new lifestyle brand. The shipping label and personal note didn't say Meghan Markle. They were heavily stamped with the forbidden royal titles. She was using the crown to sell jam and lifestyle goods, directly mocking the agreement Harry had signed in good faith. Violation number 3, the fatal Netflix blunder. During the filming of a high-stakes Netflix appearance alongside Hollywood powerhouse Mindy Kaling, Kaling naturally referred to her as Meghan Markle. Suddenly, Meghan stopped the entire production. On raw, unedited camera footage, she snapped, "It's so funny that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now." When Harry heard this, his breath caught in his throat. He had spent 5 years defending his wife's honor, telling the world she wanted nothing to do with the stuffy constraints of royalty, only to find out she was allegedly enforcing the use of the titles behind closed doors on commercial streaming platforms. But then came the first massive, spine-chilling twist that caused Harry to break down completely. William said, "Harry, look at the timeline. It goes back 20 years before she ever met you. The very foundation of who she told you she was is a complete lie." William dropped a bombshell regarding Meghan's famous childhood origin story, the legendary tale of an 11-year-old girl who single-handedly changed corporate America by writing a letter to Hillary Clinton to alter a sexist Procter & Gamble commercial. For 2 decades, this story was the cornerstone of Meghan's brand. She told it at the United Nations, she told it at global summits, and she told it in her multi-million-dollar Netflix docuseries. But William revealed that forensic fact-checkers from high-end publications had gone directly to Procter & Gamble and Clinton's archives. There was no record, no letter, nothing. Even her own father, Thomas Markle, caught on camera in a leaked documentary clip, admitted the truth. Meghan was just part of a school class assignment. The story about her single-handedly changing the ad was completely embellished. Harry was hit with the agonizing realization that the fierce, independent activist he thought he married was a carefully constructed PR illusion. But just as Harry began to weep, William whispered the most terrifying detail of all, and it changes everything. The shockwave of this telephone call did not stay hidden behind palace walls for long. Within hours, a massive leak from an anonymous insider flooded the gates of the media, sending shockwaves through Hollywood and the global entertainment community. The internet absolutely exploded. On Twitter, high-profile royal commentators and investigative journalists began posting redacted pages of what appeared to be William's secret dossier. The backlash was instant and unforgiving. A massive viral thread on X, formerly Twitter, detailing the Procter & Gamble fraud, garnered over 50 million views in less than 12 hours. The hashtag Meghan faked it began trending worldwide. Hollywood elite, who had previously lined up to dine with the Sussexes in Montecito, suddenly began distancing themselves. Rumors swirled that top-tier celebrities were instructing their publicists to cancel all upcoming meetings with the Duchess. But then, the second, even more sinister twist dropped, completely paralyzing the entertainment industry. It wasn't just a loss of public reputation, it was total commercial annihilation. Industry insiders leaked the internal mood of Netflix, Spotify, and Penguin Random House. We now know that Netflix, which had signed a historic $100 million deal with the couple, decided to let their contract completely expire with no dramatic announcement. Insiders described the mood in 4 brutal words: "We are done with them." Even worse, a senior executive from Spotify went on the record after their multi-million-dollar podcast deal collapsed after just 1 season, using a single, devastating word to describe the couple: frauds. This wasn't a creative disagreement. This was an accusation of absolute deception originating from inside the corporate boardroom. As the industry backlash intensified, the internet uncovered an obscure Urban Dictionary term that had quietly gone viral over the past few years: markled. Defined as being completely, coldly abandoned by someone after you have played a meaningful, life-altering role in their success. The public began connecting this to a devastating story involving Meghan's childhood best friend of 30 years, Nanaki Pretty. They had been inseparable since the age of 2, through sleepovers, vacations, and marriages. Nanaki was even the maid of honor at Meghan's first wedding. Yet, when the royal wedding arrived in 2018, Nanaki was completely ghosted, removed from Meghan's life with a terrifying, absolute silence. Nanaki later stated to the press, "Meghan is highly calculated and strategic in how she cultivates friends. Once she decides you are not part of her life, she can be very cold." The global audience watched in real time as the narrative flipped from a fairy tale romance to a psychological thriller. Harry was trapped in the middle of a global media firestorm, staring at his wife, realizing that the woman he sacrificed his entire life for was now being universally labeled as an international corporate liability. But just when you think the drama has reached its absolute peak, William's final warning to Harry leaks out, and it will leave you completely breathless. The world is now completely divided, and social media has turned into an absolute digital war zone. On one side, the diehard Sussex loyalists are screaming that this entire dossier is a coordinated, malicious smear campaign orchestrated by Buckingham Palace to protect the future king. Viral TikTok videos show fans weeping, claiming that Meghan is being bullied out of existence by an ancient institution that fears her power and modern influence. They claim the fake gift baskets and Instagram posts are just petty administrative errors being weaponized to destroy a powerful woman of color. But on the other side, a massive, overwhelming wave of public outrage is demanding absolute accountability. Millions of everyday viewers are flooding comment sections, calling for the immediate, permanent removal of all royal titles. The public sentiment has shifted from mild amusement to intense, burning fury. People feel completely manipulated. Mainstream news anchors are hosting heated, late-night debates, with legal experts arguing that the Sandringham Agreement has been breached so severely that the Crown has every legal right to take drastic, historic action. The industry reaction has been even more brutal. A leaked internal memo from a major Hollywood talent agency revealed that agents are actively advising clients to avoid being photographed anywhere near the Sussexes. The phrase "commercially toxic" is being thrown around by top-tier entertainment executives. Investors who put millions into Meghan's lifestyle brand are reportedly panicking, demanding audits of her promotional materials, terrified that the foundation of her entire public narrative is fundamentally compromised. Even members of Parliament are now getting involved, publicly stating that the British public deserves a formal answer. The division is so deep that it's causing rifts within families and friendships worldwide. Is Meghan a misunderstood visionary caught in a royal trap, or is she the mastermind behind a 20-year global deception? The debate is raging out of control, and every single second, new leaks are pouring fuel onto the fire. But amidst all this chaos, Prince William has just made a quiet, definitive move behind the scenes that seals Harry's fate forever. This brings us to the ultimate, catastrophic final twist that absolutely nobody saw coming, and it changes the future of the British monarchy permanently. While Harry was dealing with the psychological fallout of his brother's phone call, a source close to Prince William confirmed an absolute, explosive position directly to the Daily Beast. This is no longer palace gossip. This is a confirmed, on-the-record strategy. The very moment Prince William ascends the throne and becomes king, the titles of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be instantly, permanently and publicly stripped away. This is not a threat. It is an absolute certainty. William's dossier was not compiled to start a petty family argument. It was built to lay the legal and public relations groundwork for a total, systematic removal of Harry and Meghan from any association with the royal family. Think about the sheer gravity of this situation. Harry was born a prince. He is the son of a king and the grandson of a queen. No matter what happens to his titles, he has a biological, historic floor to stand on. He will always be royal by blood. But for Meghan, everything, every partner, every retailer, every Netflix executive, and every wealthy investor signed up for those two specific words in front of her name, Duchess of Sussex. When William becomes king and those two words are violently ripped away, the entire commercial empire built upon them will collapse like a house of cards. What exactly will she have left to sell? The true, terrifying question we have to ask right now is this: did Harry finally see the writing on the wall during that fateful April phone call? Insiders claim that Harry's sudden, total public silence since the confrontation is because he is secretly negotiating his own exit strategy. Rumors are swirling that Harry is desperately trying to find a way to salvage his relationship with his brother before the ultimate hammer falls. But it gets even deeper. A highly classified piece of intelligence has just leaked out regarding a secret meeting that took place in London just days ago, a meeting that Meghan was completely excluded from. This hidden chapter involves a dramatic choice Harry has to make regarding his children, Archie and Lilibet, and a secret pact offered by William himself. The next video is going to blow this entire story wide open with details that will leave the entire world in absolute shock. If you think you've seen drama, you are not prepared for what is coming next. Now, I want to hear your genuine, honest opinion down below. This is not about gossip or anger. This is about a massive historical turning point. When Prince William finally becomes king, and those titles are officially, permanently removed, do you think Prince Harry will finally leave California and come back home to his family? Or has the damage gone too far for him to ever return? Type your thoughts in the comment section right now. I am going to read every single one of your responses, and I want to see a real debate in the community. If you want to stay ahead of the game and find out the shocking truth about that secret London meeting before anyone else, you need to hit that subscribe button immediately. Turn on all notifications because the next chapter in this royal saga is dropping very soon, and it features a final twist that absolutely nobody, including Meghan Markle, saw coming. Don't miss out, subscribe now, leave a like to support the channel, and I will see you in the very next update.